What's up guys, my name is ESO and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get two legendary weapons early on in the game. One of them is called the Hammer of the Forgotten God, the other one is just called a Scimitar. But they're both legendary and they both can be gotten within the first hours of playing the game very easily. And they have a low ability requirement, so you only need one-handed blades and 2 agility to wield this legendary sword, and you only need one-handed heavy weapons and 2 strength to wield the hammer. So they're very easy entry requirements, and I think they're probably like one of the lowest legendary requirements on weapons you can find, so they're just like the best thing you can get early pretty much. So, in order to get these weapons, we're firstly going to go over how to get the Scimitar. So to get the first legendary weapon, which is a one-handed sword, we're going to need to come from Serene. At the start of the game after the prologue, you'll then travel to New Serene, which is located here on the map. And from there, you'll be able to exit right out of the town and take the road towards the shore of the Tall Bones, which is located here on the map. Once you arrive here, you'll then find this map, and you'll enter from the top left of the map just here. Once you come in, you're going to want to work your way around this road and then down until you get to this area just here. Let me just zoom out so you guys can see that. So you're basically going directly east and then south until you reach this secret little area. And once you're on this path, you'll find there is a broken bridge, which you can just see on the map here. But basically where I'm standing is where I'm going to direct you from. So you can see the broken bridge behind me on this path here. And there's actually a dead merchant here. And here's some nice items on him and some gold to make sure you loot him. But now we're going to have to go to the right from his body. And then we're going to loop up the hill to the left here. Like so. And then directly on the left, make sure you don't miss it, you'll find this bridge. And this is the broken bridge. Now you're actually going to need level 2 vigor in order to jump over this gap, because it's considered to be a shortcut. So I can jump over it like so. And then we will find the secret chest on the other side. Now it's definitely worth that investment into the vigor skill, because you get a legendary item out of it. It's a scimitar, and I'll show you guys how much damage you can do with this before I show you the next weapon. But currently at the base value it does 289 damage. It only requires the one-handed blade skill like pretty much all blades, and level 2 agility in your attributes to actually use. It also has 14 armor damage, very low like all swords, quality of 64, a stun chance of 100%, fury gen of 5%, which is high. So let's pick that unique weapon up. And if you guys are wondering why I have 999 talent points, it's because I've used console commands to cheat and show you guys where this weapon is, because my character isn't got any points invested into this skill line because he uses blunt weapons himself. And if you guys didn't know this, each piece of armor actually has upgradable slots, and your strap specifically allows you to add on different things, like the talisman that gives you +1 vigor, or the flask that gives you +1 science, and then we also have +1 lockpicking with the pouch and tools as well. So you can get +1 science, +1 lockpicking, and +1 vigor, depending what you want to get without actually having the skill investment to be able to do this otherwise. So now let me show you how much potential damage these weapons can do before you decide if you want to get them or not. Firstly, we have the Scimitar. This has 2 upgrades. Firstly, you can improve the armor damage it does. Secondly, you can improve the physical damage, which I recommend 100% on swords. And lastly, you can improve the stun damage, which I really don't recommend. Always go for damage on swords, because it's always going to be better, especially with that attack speed. So we're going to go for weighted pommel. And as for the guard options, we have lots of different options once again that also improve armor damage, physical damage, and also the stun. But the best thing we can go for is, again, physical damage. So the elegant guard gives us 40 damage and 2% extra fury regen as well. So that is a fully kitted out scimitar. It does 389 damage and 14 armor damage and a stun of 100%, fury generation of 7%, and the cost of Furious abilities only 25% as well. So it's a very solid weapon. But again, there are lots of different legendary weapons in the game. This is one of the best ones you can get early on. Obviously, it's like a legendary quality. But there are other legendary weapons that you're going to find. Some have different statistics, so it's really what suits your character playstyle the best. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you how to get the Hammer of the Forgotten God. It just sounds epic, doesn't it? This is actually a really easy weapon to get, and you can get it right at the start of the game. So in order to get this weapon, all you need to do is increase your relationship level with the Coin Guard, which are the guard faction in every single city. This is really easy to do, and it's something you can do without annoying any other faction. So you can do it right at the start of the game as well, because all of the starting missions are Coin Guard related. So what we need to do is we need to have a look on the main map, because you start off in Serene in the prologue, and you actually already start off with a quest line to get some Coin Guard faction points. The name of these side quests, by the way guys, if you were wondering, is firstly in the prologue before departure, you'll have this quest, Coin Guard Merchandise, which basically requires you to ship a bunch of merchandise over to New Serene from Serene, and you need to help the Coin Guard actually do that. And any way you can help them, it doesn't negatively impact other factions either, is going to earn you reputation with them. After you've done the prologue and left Serene, you will then end up in New Serene. And once you reach this town, that quest is called an Aspiring Merchant, where you help the merchant and the Coin Guard find out who's been exploiting the merchants and robbing their goods. And that quest line won't take you more than an hour to finish. And after doing those quests, you will then have a nice relationship with the Coin Guard, and that will reward you with the unique hammer item, which is kind of ridiculous that you get a legendary weapon that early on in the game. If it's the quest line you focus on early, it's so easy to do. Just make sure you don't kill any guards and try and avoid that, and solve everything by using your voice and not violence. It's very simple to do. You can really get this weapon at any point during the game as well, as long as you always just are friendly with the Coin Guard, and you will eventually get given the Hammer of the Forgotten Gods. A awesomely cool looking weapon indeed. Okay, and now let's take a look at the Hammer of the Forgotten Gods. Without any upgrades yet applied to it, it has a base damage of 226, a armor damage of 39, and it has a stun chance of 240%, fury generation of 5%, and the cost of the furious generated attacks of 25%, which is very good indeed. So now let's upgrade it and see how good we can make this weapon. So I don't, like, for some reason this weapon's bugged and you can't actually see it, but let's start upgrading it. So we have 3 different options here. We can either improve the stun, the armor damage it's going to do, or the physical damage. Now, personally, I prefer just to always upgrade physical damage. I'm playing on extreme difficulty, and to be honest, like, physical damage is always the best way to go in my opinion. Maybe with your followers, if you're giving it to one of them, you might want them to be removing armor for you, in which case you'd upgrade it to do more armor damage. Like you can see here, it can go up to 69, wink, armor damage. But I just want to max out the physical damage, so we're going to go for plus 60 weighted elongated pommel, and then we can upgrade the stick with a ornate metal handle. Very pretty indeed. So now this weapon does 346 physical damage, which is just insanely powerful. Also does 39 armor damage, and it has a quality of 65, a 240% chance of stun. All the other stuff is the same. It does require one-handed heavy weapons and 2 strength to wield, but considering that's like a minor investment for such a strong weapon, same with the scimitar only requiring 2 agility to wield, it's just a low requirement for a legendary weapon, which is what makes it so good at the start of the game. You can easily get these attributes early on, depending what you're focusing on, and you're just going to go. I mean, I feel like Thor now I have this hammer. It looks amazing. Look at that. God damn. You will find other unique weapons like the Yatagahan, which is a really good weapon with 298 damage and 14 armor resistance and a quality of 60. It also requires an agility of 2 and the one-handed blade skill like its counterparts, but you cannot upgrade it. So it's actually not as good a legendary weapon because of that circumstance. So guys, if you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments, and let me know if you want any other guides to do with builds or anything like that, and I will try and make them for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe and press that bell icon, then YouTube will let you know every time I release a new weapon location guide video. I've got loads that I've found in the walkthrough and I still need to make videos on, so there's going to be lots of those sort of quick tip videos coming out in the future. But guys, thank you so much for watching me, ESO. Give the video a like if it did help, because that also supports me, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and have a fantastic day.